the extra people, beyond that 30%, who say, I just don't see it, I don't get Sinn Féin, I don't understand Sinn Féin, I don't want to vote for them. How would you say to them, don't be concerned? How would you allay their fears about a Sinn Féin government?
Well, look, first of all...
Because the other 30 you've got, so you don't need to worry about them.
No, well, I mean, I wouldn't be quite as complacent as that. That's not really how it works. I mean, every one of those people matters.
Okay.
And what I would say to you is we will continue to work hard, to work harder, to set out our stall. And I mean, I'm a realist. I know that you earn people's trust. Mm-hmm. I know that every person who will make a decision, I hope, to come out and vote for change and to give us the chance and the opportunity to show what we can do and judge us then. I know for each and every one of them, we will have to continue demonstrating not just that we can critique government, but that we actually have new ideas. And I have to say, like, I'm not a one-woman band. On your own, you don't change things. On my own, I would never change the many things that we need to change in Ireland. But I've got a great team around me. Mm-hmm. I think that inspires a level of confidence and trust. And to those who haven't yet decided that they might give us that opportunity to lead, I would just say, stay tuned, give us a fair hearing, listen to what we have to say, and then at least give us the shot at convincing you that, you know, that we make a move and that we get a chance to do things differently and to demonstrate how we can make progress.
When would you like a border poll to take place?
I think it'll happen in this decade.
Okay.
What I would like to happen now, and I think what needs to happen now as a matter of urgency, is we need to start the preparation. I mean, who would have thought, you talked about the 30% polling rate, but who would have thought a year ago, 2 years ago, that you would have for the first time a Republican, a nationalist First Minister in the North, Michelle O'Neill.
Yes.
And yet that happened. So change is underway politically, demographically. We all know this. And I think the responsible thing to do now is to start making the preparations, because what we need to achieve is peaceful, orderly and democratic change. And that means, Ryan, that the work needs to get done now.
Let me ask you about, there's a poll I understand in the Irish Times tomorrow which talks about an all-Ireland poll. It says the island wants a border poll, but it will say that it will be a no in the north and a yes in the south. That's the poll as of tomorrow, from my understanding. That's a conundrum, isn't it? How are you going to convince everyone to come on board if it's split like that?
By talking to people. I mean, just bear in mind, any polling data that you are seeing now and people staking out their position is before really government has signalled a seriousness about this debate. You know, for a lot of people who would say, well, you know, is this a thing? Is this actually going to happen?
Yes.
Could we actually see a united Ireland? Is this just a dream of the fourth Greenfield? But we can.
I agree.
We can.
So let's talk about that, for example.
Yeah.
There'd have to be a new flag, wouldn't there?
Well, I think the tricolour captures the green and the orange, you know, the two great traditions and peace.
Okay, so you wouldn't revisit that?
I am not going to selectively say we can't talk about anything. I think we need to talk about everything.
So it's on the table.
But let me make this point. Anybody who talks to me about Irish reunification and change and what it might mean, the first issue that they raise, north and south, is the issue of the health system. I believe we need an Irish national health system. And I believe that is possible. I think we can only achieve that on an all-island basis. People have raised questions about education and investment opportunities and employment opportunities.
You know, don't you? I know, to say respect, you know more than anyone else the power of symbols and symbolism, and especially for people who identify as British, for example. So if you say the Irish flag, it strikes me as you're saying that we can talk about it. If you say the national anthem, for example... We'll
talk about everything.
So everything's
Amhrán bhfiann is, as far as I'm concerned, is our national anthem. We have a conversation on everything. But I think it is a mistake to jump straight for the symbolic piece, to jump straight for the anthem and the flag, because... And
the 12th of July is a public holiday for the island.
Well, I have said before that I believe that would be an appropriate thing. That's my view. That's my view.
Okay,
yeah, absolutely. That's my view. But don't underestimate the fact that people realise you have to put bread on the table, you have to cater for your family. We're living through a cost of living crisis, and a lot of people are really, really struggling. They're struggling in the north, perhaps even more so because the DUP won't go into the executive, so there's no government functioning there. So people understand the value of what's called the bread and butter issues, but the bread and butter issues are the things that define the quality of your life.
Let's go there, as you mentioned.